Welcome back to Hustle System. My name is Mikhail and I help people master their mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. And in this video, we're going to be talking about what to do if you hate your job. Hate your job. What do? Well, what I'm going to do is not waste your time. I'm going to dig straight into the practical advice because your time is precious and that is the number one thing you need to focus on. If you're going to a job day in, day out, you hate it, but you need the money, this video is for you. Okay? What are you going to do right now? You are going to audit how much you need to make in order to replace your time 1 hour at a time. Break it down. Let's say you make $15 an hour. Now let's say you go into work 8 hours per day, 5 days per week. Pretty simple. You make $2,400 a month, right? You go in for the day, you make your 15 times 8, you make your 120, you do that 5 times, you make your 600 a week, and then you have your 2,400, and that's what you need. Okay? You're going to start there. You're going to start with your basic needs, and then you're going to ask yourself, what could I do in the other time that I have to replace 1 hour? Okay, you're not going to go for how do I replace 2,400 a month. You're not going to go do anything crazy. Okay, that'll be a separate video. If you want to completely replace all your work income, then you can do it if you have the skills. But the problem is if you're working in a job that's not helping you build skills, you probably don't have the skills you need to snap your fingers and replace that entire income set. Okay, so what you're going to do right now is you're going to try and figure out a way that in between the other 4 hours that you have at least, right? If you have 12 hours in a day, you're working for 8 of them, you've got at least another 3 or 4 minimum, if not 5 or 6 if you're smart. How do you replace one of those other hours during those 5 or 6 hours? So what that means is if you're actually only earning $3 an hour doing something else, and you do that for the other 5 hours, that counts. That counts, okay? If you're selling like Beanie Babies on eBay and you're only making $3 each hour you spend, okay, that counts. So that's going to be your game plan, is you're going to take that and you're going to set that as a goal for yourself, that by this time next week, you're going to have a game plan for what you're going to do with the time that you're not at work in order to replace 1 hour of work. Okay, and that's your goal for the entire week. For the entire first week, you're going to just try and replace 1 hour. But what happens is you have now replaced 1/40th, right? If you work 40 hours a week, you replace 1 hour, you've replaced 1/40th of the time that you spend at a job you hate, because this video is for you if you hate your job, with something else that you enjoy. And you're going to do that 4 weeks in a row. You're going to do that 4 weeks in a row. You're going to replace 1 hour for the entire week. Your job is to replace 1 hour. That's it. You do that. Second week, third week, fourth week. Now what have you done? Now what you've done is by the end of the month, you have replaced 1/2 of a day. You've replaced half of an entire day of work doing something you love. You've also replaced 10% of 1 week, right? 4 hours out of 40. You've also replaced 2.5% of your entire month from the job that you hate to something you love. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pause for 30 minutes and you're going to evaluate what you did and how you can double it. And that's going to be your challenge for the next 4 weeks, is to double the effort. And then you're going to do it again for another 4 weeks. So how does that look? Over the first 4 weeks, you just replace 1 hour per week. That's it. Instead of going in and serving burgers, right? You go and you find a way to create funny videos online and you sell them. Or you find something you really enjoy doing on Instagram and you find a way to monetize that. Okay, we've got tons of options for monetization inside of our mentoring program, and we talk about it inside of the community all of the time. I'll provide the links down below. No sweat, no problem. Then in the second group of 4 weeks, so week 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going to try and double it. So you're going to try and replace 2 hours for each of those weeks. So that's another 8 hours. That's a full day of your time now freed up. And then you're going to try and do it again for weeks 9, 10, 11, and 12. You're not going to free up 2, you're going to free up 4 each of those weeks. That's 4, 8, 12, 16. So by the time that you're done with that 3-month exercise, you will have freed up half a day, then a full day, and then 2 days. You'll have freed up 3.5 days of your work time. Instead of going into that job you hate, now you can do something you love with those 3.5 days. And you know what you're going to do during those 3.5 days? Whatever it is that you were doing in your off time, now you can take those 3.5 days, you can apply it to that. And you will just accelerate the process and accelerate the process and accelerate the process. And before you know it, you'll replace a whole week. Because guess what? 3.5 days, another day and a half. And now you have a whole week out of the month to do something you love. Sure, go into your job the other 3 days. But now you've opened up that tunnel at the end. You see that light starting to shine through. And accelerate that process and accelerate that process and accelerate that process. See, so many people think like just quit your job and then you have it. But I actually think that's terrible advice. Because you know what? If you need the money, use the time. If you don't have the money, you have the time. Use the time. Instead of coming home and watching TV, figure out what you can do to replace that 1 hour for the whole week. That's your job for the whole week, is to replace 1 hour. You should be able to figure that out. How do you make an extra $15? It shouldn't be that bad. And you do that again and again and again. Then you review. How can you do it twice as good? Can I be twice as fast? Can I get twice as many clients? Can I sell something at twice the price? Then you do that. Then you do that one more time, and you pretty much freed up almost an entire week. Okay, that's pretty cool. So in this video, we talked about what to do if you hate your job, and that's what you do. You give yourself the light at the end of the tunnel because nobody else is going to give it to you. Okay, if you haven't already joined our free community for Hustle System, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely free. I'll include a link down below. Okay, we talk about these types of topics in there all the time. We also have a paid VIP version of the community. Highly recommend you check it out. Okay, so if you haven't already, click those links, check them out. You've got a community of people just like you that are in similar situations or were in similar situations, and they found that, yeah, it's tough. It's tough because society's set up so that you work your whole life. It's not set up so you can win. So that's why we created that community, is to break down topics like this and say, no, hold on, here's how you create that light at the end of the tunnel so that if you hate your job, you don't have to spend the rest of your life going to a job you hate. That's a myth. That's a lie. There's a better way, okay? So do this right now. Subscribe to the channel if you've already subscribed. Click the notification bell. Then check out the free community, join the free community. And then number 3 is comment down below. What do you hate about your job? Okay, you guys will love this one. What do you hate most about your job? Does your boss scream at you? Is it just nasty? Is it far away? Is it just not fun? Does it make you miserable? Rant fest. I'm giving you guys permission in the comment section to rant about how much you hate your job. I can't promise you that I'll respond to everyone because I don't engage with negativity too much, but I do promise you that having the ability to vent for a moment is a good feeling, and you'll probably find somebody else in the comments that says, hey, I have the same problem with my job. I hate this, man. Let's do this. Let's join the community together, and let's make something happen so that you can start to create that light at the end of the tunnel, open it up, start moving towards it, so that eventually you can find yourself looking back at that job that you had that you hated so much and wonder what the heck you were even doing there, because your life will be so awesome. Okay? As always, this has been Mikhail with Hustle System. I help people master the mindset, build a better business, and help you live your life on your terms. In this video, we talked about what to do if you hate your job. As always, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell, like the video, comment below what you hate most about your job. And if you have not already joined the Hustle System community, I highly recommend it. It is awesome. Got lots of love for you. I appreciate you. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.